In lesson 4 we'll be showing you how to allocate labour resources to different tasks. You'll remember earlier on, using the project builder, we set up some initial labour resources. If I double click on the labourer one here, you'll see that at the moment he hasn't got a unit cost. So you can use this software to generate yourself some basic costings. So I'm going to say that my labourer cost me £6.50 an hour. Okay. My ground worker, he cost me £12.50 an hour. And my bricklayer, he cost me £16 an hour. Now what we're going to do is to allocate those resources to different tasks. So the labourer, he could be used on the foundations, the ground worker. I want to use 2 of them though. Now that has created what I call, it's sort of a little bit of a conflict in that I've got too much task for not enough labour. So what I need to go down to is go down to the labour available and change it to 2, and you'll notice that that then creates the correct number of resources allocated to that task. And then we move on to the footings. So the chap that's going to do that is the bricklayers. Again, I want 2 of them to do it. And then I need to change the number available down here to 2. You shouldn't have red in your thing because that means you've under-resourced it. And then the labourer, I'll put in with the footings as well. And then we'll go to the oversight and slabbing, which is done by the 2 ground workers. And the labourer. And then the ground worker and labourer are going to do the drains. So your software is starting to generate you some budget figures for the tasks that I've allocated so far, and you can have a quick glance at those by changing it from the entry table to the resource cost table, and then you'll see that your labour budget is starting to be built up by your software. Obviously the idea behind having it linked to Estimator-Express is that all these figures are generated automatically by that piece of software, but obviously what I'm trying to demonstrate to you here is that this can be used independently of Estimator-Express. It might be useful to sort of sub-categorise those labour into the substructure element of your build, and you can do that by inserting another resource. Let's call it groundworks to DPC. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to indent these tasks there, because obviously what I'm trying to demonstrate here is you could have another set of labour that's being used to do this, so there could be a different gang of men that's being used to do your substructure. So it means that the software can be used in quite a sophisticated way to move your gangs and what have you around the various tasks, because obviously we're just doing one task here. The software could be used to do several projects on the go at any one time. And then we could move on to resource the superstructure. So I'm going to create a new task. Oops, hang on, got to be down here. Down there. And this is going to be brickwork shell. No, tell a lie. No, it's completion to roof level. Okay, and then I'm going to indent those. I'm going to have the labourer, £6.50 an hour, Okay, and then I've got my brickies. Two of them, so 2 in one game. And then we've got our joiner. Just going to delete that line there. Then we've got the roofer. Okay, now we need to link those to the thing. Before we do that, we will indent them. And then we'll attach the tradesman to the individual tasks. So the brickwork shell, that wants a labourer, it wants a bricklayer, the joiner is doing the first floor joists, it wants 2 of them to do it. And you'll notice that that's created the red again, so we need 2 joiners to do that. And then the labourer is doing that. Bricklayer is doing that. Okay. I've just noticed a small, it's not a major error in my thing, but I need to add in an extra bit in here. I need to add in the gable. So I'm going to insert construct gable. And I'm going to link that to the roof tiling, because you can't tile the roof until that's done. That's increased our time scale a little bit for our job actually doing that, but not to worry, just goes to show that you can think of things afterwards and add them in afterwards. Now, having done that, we're going to just check. I think I've resourced that already, haven't I? Yeah. Right, then we need to go to that, and we need to go to that. Okay, right, so that's that brickies allocated. Then we've got roof structure, which is going to be built by the joiners. Okay, we've then got to construct the roof, or tile the roof. We're going to use 2 roofers, yeah, that's fine, and add them. Yeah, they're okay, they've got the right number of availability, so that's that sorted. Then we've got to deal with the scaffolding. I'm going to create a new resource. I'm going to allocate a unit cost to it of £10 an hour. It's an other type of resource. And I'm going to link it like so to that. Now then, let's have a look at the resource costs table. Right. Right, now then, that's generated me a budget of £2,800 there. Obviously this software is not designed to be estimating software, but you can manipulate the data to put the right sorts of figure in. So say you've had a different quote to that, just double click it and change the number of hours. Let's change that to 250, and that's changed the budget figure to 2,500 now. So that's how you can sort of adapt and manipulate the data for that particular item. And so at the end of this lesson, our bar chart is really starting to take shape. If you just want to look at the whole bar chart as you've got it so far, you can just drag that back there slightly, and oh, I've done it too far, just drag it back. You've just got to muck about a little bit with that until you're so you can start seeing the overall shape of your bar chart if you just manipulate the date there a little bit. Quite difficult to get it exactly right. Ah, that's better. So you've just got to move it about like that, and you can see the overall bar chart starting to take shape. And as you move over these things, you can see the different amounts of labour and the gang sizes that you're using to do that task. And that ends lesson 4.